Ghost in the Shell is an adaptation of the iconic Japanese manga and anime series of the same name. This live-action interpretation brings to life the futuristic world of cybernetics, artificial intelligence, and existential musings while offering a visually captivating experience that both pays homage to its source material and attempts to carve out its own identity. Visually, Ghost in the Shell is a triumph. The film's futuristic cityscape, a blend of neon lights and towering skyscrapers, is brought to life with exceptional attention to detail and stunning visual effects. Scarlett Johansson's portrayal of Major Motoko Kusanagi, a cyborg law enforcement officer, is both physically impressive and emotionally nuanced, capturing the essence of a character grappling with the complex interplay between human consciousness and technological augmentation. In the upcoming times, humanity has embraced cybernetic enhancements to a remarkable degree. Leading the charge in this technological frontier is the Hanka Robotics Corporation, a prominent company at the forefront of such advancements. The company is on the brink of a groundbreaking achievement, the creation of a novel kind of cyborg, one driven by a human brain's intricate workings. Into this transformative landscape enters Mira Killian, portrayed by Scarlett Johansson, a woman whose life takes an unexpected turn after a mishap. In a bid to salvage her existence, her brain finds itself transplanted into a robotic frame, one endowed with enhanced strength and unparalleled agility. Following the culmination of this intricate procedure, Dr. Owlett, portrayed by Juliette Binoche, engages in a conversation with Cutter, the CEO of Hanka Robotics, played by Peter Ferdinando. Cutter's aspirations involve deploying Mira within Section 9, a specialized unit focused on countering terrorism. However, Dr. Owlett holds reservations, deeming Mira's readiness for such a role to be insufficient at this juncture. A year has passed, and Mira has transformed into a figure known as the Major. Perched atop a building's rooftop, she covertly listens to a meeting involving Dr. Osmond, a representative of Hanka, and an African ambassador portrayed by Chris Obi. Receiving her directives from Section 9's chief, Daisuke Aramaki, the Major collaborates with colleagues Batu and Ladria. During the gathering, an unexpected twist occurs as a group of geisha bots suddenly launch an attack, prompting the Major to spring into action against Aramaki's instructions. Employing her invisibility capability, she leaps from the rooftop, gracefully entering the room by swinging in. Swiftly, she neutralizes the aggressive geisha bots, unleashing a barrage of gunfire. Tragically, one of these bots manages to breach Dr. Osmond's defenses, resulting in his demise before the Major can intervene. With chilling precision, the hacked geisha bot issues a haunting declaration: "Cooperate with Hanka Robotics and be destroyed." The Major responds decisively by eliminating the threat with a precise shot to the head. Following the ordeal, the Section 9 team convenes with Aramaki to dissect the attack's implications. The team unearths a troubling revelation: the geisha bots were manipulated by an enigmatic entity that echoes the same ominous phrase delivered to the Major. After the meeting, the team disperses, leaving Aramaki alone with the Major to discuss her daring move of entering the fray. During their conversation, Aramaki imparts a profound insight: the Major still possesses her ghost, her inner essence, within her mechanical shell, her cyborg form. Amidst her ongoing challenges, the Major frequently seeks out Dr. Owlett for maintenance and repairs whenever her body sustains damage. Struggling to piece together her fragmented past, the Major's memories remain elusive, manifesting only as fleeting glimpses and flashes. While Owlett dismisses these experiences as mere glitches, her genuine concern for the Major is evident. Cruising through the city streets, the Major and Batu engage in conversation. The Major opens up about the scant fragments of her past, recounting a painful memory involving the loss of her family during an attempt to flee to the countryside. As they drive, a haunting image of a burning hut materializes before the Major, a vivid hallucination. Subsequently, the Major and Batu rendezvous with Dr. Dallin, portrayed by Anna Maria Marinka, who possesses the geisha bot body. Aiming to glean more insights about the hacker, the Major embarks on a deep dive into the geisha bot's AI, hoping for revelations. Within this digital realm, the Major finds herself navigating a surreal club environment filled with distorted visuals. Here, an entity ensnares her, necessitating Batu's intervention to rescue her from the connection. Resurfacing, the Major proclaims that she now knows the hacker's whereabouts. The trio, comprising the Major, Batu, and Ladria, ventures into a Yakuza-infused nightclub. In an unfortunate turn, the Major is forcibly led into a room by two men who subject her to dance against her will. She finds herself shackled to a pole and subjected to electric shocks from a cattle prod. Compounded by a signal jamming her communication with Batu, the Major retaliates, engaging in combat against the aggressors. A frenzied confrontation unfolds, ultimately spilling into a shootout instigated by Batu. Together, they vanquish numerous assailants before pursuing the hacker. Their pursuit leads them to an apparently promising room, which, in reality, conceals a deadly trap. A detonation wreaks havoc, inflicting damage upon the Major's body and robbing Batu of his sight. Subsequently, Batu undergoes a cybernetic eye implantation procedure to restore his damaged vision, while the Major's body undergoes repairs. Meanwhile, Cutter's ire propels him into a confrontation with Aramaki, incensed by the Major's audacious deep dive. Aramaki, however, issues a stern warning to Cutter, reminding him of his true authority, as he answers not to Hanka, but to the Prime Minister. Simultaneously, the hacker locates and assaults Dr. Dahlin, cruelly extracting her eyes before extinguishing her life. The discovery of Dahlin's lifeless form prompts the Major and her Section 9 team to spring into action. In a gripping moment, the Major extracts a vital drive from Dahlin's hand, revealing a compilation of names belonging to other Hanka affiliates, among them Owlet. This revelation solidifies their suspicion that Owlet is the next target in the hacker's sinister plot. The hacker orchestrates control over 2 sanitation workers, manipulating them into crashing their truck into Owlet's vehicle. Miraculously surviving the collision, Owlet faces immediate danger as the men disembark from the truck and attempt to open fire. Fortunately, the Major and her team arrive in the nick of time, retaliating with a barrage of gunfire. In hot pursuit of one of the assailants named Lee, the Major engages in a fierce confrontation along a waterfront while cloaked in invisibility. Her assault is halted by Batu's intervention. After severing the hacker's influence, Lee is subjected to interrogation. He discloses that he was en route to collect his daughter when his connection was severed. The Major cunningly shows Lee an image he perceives as his daughter, which is actually a picture of himself. The disturbing revelation emerges that the hacker implanted false recollections into Lee's mind. The hacker, identified as Q's, exploits Lee's voice to issue threats against Section 9 before compelling him to take his own life by hanging. Amidst this chaos, Section 9 member Tagusa traces the hacker's signal to a concealed location. There, the Major discovers Q's, intricately linked to a network of humanoid cyborg bodies. Q's unveils his past as a Hanka test subject, a tragic tale marked by deformity, failure, and ostracism. Striking a chord with the Major, she spots a tattoo on his chest mirroring the burning hut from her own hallucinations. Q's reveals that Hanka exerted dominion over their lives, forsaking their salvation. Confronting Owlet with this unsettling truth, the Major's frustration is palpable. Owlet discloses that the Major was the fortunate result after 98 botched experiments. Emotions run high as Owlet attempts to rationalize her actions, but her explanations do little to quell the Major's anger. Cutter, driven by vengeance, commands Owlet's termination for the perceived threat she poses. However, in a surprising twist, Owlet opts to assist the Major. She furnishes her with an address, a conduit for self-discovery. Owlet's act of rebellion costs her life, as Cutter ruthlessly executes her. Cutter subsequently reports to Aramaki, distorting the truth by asserting that the Major killed Owlet, thereby advocating for her termination. The trail of the address leads the Major to her former residence, an encounter that unveils a poignant reunion with her mother, portrayed by Kaori Moma. Having believed her daughter had vanished and met a tragic fate, her mother is stunned to find her standing before her. The revelation follows that the Major's true identity is Motoko Kusanagi. Although her mother senses a glimmer of familiarity in the Major's gaze, their interaction remains laden with complexities. Upon departure, the Major establishes contact with Aramaki, who discloses Owlet's demise and Cutter's fabrication of events, a deception they both acknowledge. Cunningly, they allow Cutter to eavesdrop on their exchange, concurrently strategizing their countermove. Cutter dispatches his forces to eliminate Section 9 members. In the face of the assault, Batu, Tagusa, and Aramaki elude death and retaliate, eliminating their assailants. Concurrently, the Major rendezvous with Q's within a hideout reminiscent of the burning hut. Their conversation unearths Q's true identity as Hideo, revealing their initial stance against human cyborg augmentations. The stakes escalate as Cutter unleashes a formidable spider tank targeting the Major and Q's. However, the confrontation proves devastating for Q's, sustaining grave injuries. Undeterred, the Major mounts the spider tank, channeling all her might into its destruction, at the cost of her own arm. The skirmish concludes with the Major's triumph over the tank. As the dust settles, Q's extends an offer to merge their essences, an offer she declines as he fades from existence. In a fateful twist, Cutter's sniper arrives via chopper and fatally shoots Q's. In a dramatic twist, Aramaki dispatches his operative, Saito, portrayed by Yutaka Izumihara, to neutralize the sniper, rescuing the Major from imminent danger. In the aftermath, Bata aids the Major, ensuring her survival. Aramaki capitalizes on a newfound advantage, confronting Cutter following a dialogue with the Prime Minister. The tide turns against Cutter, who faces charges for Owlet's murder and crimes against the state. Aramaki, armed with the Major's consent, administers justice, subjecting Cutter to 3 fatal gunshots before he descends into his own pool. The narrative culminates with the Major visiting her own gravesite in the company of her mother, their bond reaffirmed. A reflective voiceover from the Major conveys her awareness of future counterparts while asserting that her enhancements don't define her. As the closing scene unfolds, she returns to her duties with Section 9, embarking on a leap from a building towards her next mission. In conclusion, Ghost in the Shell is a visually mesmerizing film that makes a valiant effort to explore profound themes within the framework of a sci-fi action thriller. While its artistic achievements are evident, the film's success is tempered by its uneven pacing, narrative complexity, and controversial casting decisions. Fans of the source material may appreciate the film's attempt to bring this iconic story to a wider audience, even as they navigate the changes made in the adaptation. Ultimately, Ghost in the Shell invites audiences to ponder the intricate relationship between humanity and technology while reveling in its striking futuristic aesthetics. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the content and found it valuable. If you did, we kindly ask you to consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll become part of our community, gaining access to more exciting videos, informative content, and engaging discussions. It's the best way to stay updated with all our latest releases and be the first to know when we publish something new. Subscribing to our channel is absolutely free, and it helps us tremendously in reaching a wider audience and producing even better content for you. Plus, it shows us that you appreciate what we do, and that means the world to us. So, if you haven't already, please take a moment to click that subscribe button below the video. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive alerts whenever we upload fresh content.